custom titanium parts and some of the stuff that's not really made, but Chris can kind of customize it, make it work, and yeah, just anything you need. I think that would be the best place to go.
All right, for the people that are thinking about possibly getting into the sport that you guys are in, what would you say to them? What would you say to someone that says, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to do it anyway?
Just go get a bike and just ride, and if you can just ride, it's amazing. Kind of, we were talking, I've always ridden regularly, but I've never ridden every day. But if you ride every single day, your body learns how to communicate with the pedals and your handlebars, and just makes you a lot more confident, comfortable. But yeah, I would just go do it, and then the more videos and stuff you watch, your mind will kind of somewhat replicate that over time. But if you're just around it, I've noticed, like with kids, if you make a smaller jump for a kid, and they see it and they're scared to death of it. But if you just leave it there in front of them, over time they just get used to it, just being around it and seeing it every day. They get comfortable with it, and it makes them want to ride it.
What would you say?
Same thing. Go get a bike. If you're wanting to be, doing what we're doing, start small. Get used to your body positioning on the bike. That's what most people's issue is. They don't know where to be positioned at, and then they end up going over the bars, or they go backwards, stuff. That's a big issue, because I had that one myself. But once you get that down, you can move to bigger stuff, and then you get a better bike. You just continually upgrade, and yeah, I mean, you'll see progress.
Definitely, I think too, is knowing where to go ride. So there's Rockstar Energy Bike Park over here off of 45 North, Kirkendall area. And then over in Sugarland, there's a Velo Solutions pump track, which is like a worldwide famous company. They build these tracks to go ride on. But there's quite a few BMX tracks here, and then all the dirt jumps are over here at the Anthills in Houston is what it's called. And they're actually doing a clinic for some kids coming up. It was supposed to be last weekend, but it got rescheduled for the rain. And there's just tons of trails out there if you want to do trail riding. There's small jumps up to bigger jumps to like some professional level style jumps. So you can kind of, over time, you'll just kind of get more comfortable and get used to a line, and you go jump something a little bigger. And there's plenty of people out there that'll point you in the right direction.
Great community of people.
So when you say jumps, and there are going to be people that's looking at this that have absolutely no idea what you mean by jumps. Like, what's the highest jump you ever had, or did, or even saw?
On a bicycle?
Yeah.
I would say maybe, what's floodline, about 20 feet?
Yeah.
25?
Yeah.
Wow.
20, 25 feet, I mean high.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
At least 20,
maybe
25.
20, 25 feet high.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's up there.
Are there any bikes that you would tell people to stay away from?
Anything you buy at Walmart, Target.
Yeah. Not a Huffy. Don't get a Huffy.
That's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. So actually, I tell people that probably the most debilitating thing that anyone could do is if they go buy like one from Academy, Target. It's kind of like telling someone to get into basketball and having them go to a nice NBA style court, nice basketballs and air conditioned, and trying to get them interested in basketball, and then go put them out in an abandoned lot somewhere, or a prison with a basketball hoop that's got no net, outside in the summer heat. It's just not the same. It's riding a nice bicycle makes it fun. But there's people that don't do it, don't understand that riding a cheap bicycle is just not fun at all. I mean, it's just riding a nice bike feels like you're riding a nice bicycle.
I have to say, I have not heard the word or company Huffy in like forever.
Hey man, they're still producing bikes too.
We had a guy come by the other day, and he like turned around and came back. He's like, I saw somebody flying through the air. He's like, first I thought, I said, that's not a mongoose.
People stop here every night. We're right out here every night. We got lights galore. We light it up, and where we're at, they're bored that they don't see that. At least they do now, but they did not before. So it catches some attention for sure, and people stop by, and they're honestly so cool about it. They'll get out, talk with us, take some pictures and videos, and yeah, man, it's really cool to bring some kind of
There's even also a company called DD Airbags.
Okay.
For people that are just, have a mental block, they're scared to death to jump anything, but they actually make some landings that blow up full of air. So you can actually, they've got small ones and they have huge ones, but you can jump onto those and you don't have to worry about falling and hitting the ground and getting hurt. So
Understood.
yeah. So there's lots of options.
Is there anything you would tell people not to do?
Don't ride.
Wow.
Okay. Or I don't know. Don't not
ride. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ride your bike. Like,
don't ride.
It's addicting, man.
It is.
Really?
Yeah. It will. It will get addicting. I have, I had multiple bikes at one point, and I would invite anybody over that I could and be like, hey, we're gonna go downtown and ride tonight. And they'd come and do that, and they'd be like, man, I can't wait to go back. That was so cool and surreal. It's just like riding your bike. That's the only time I forget about everything that's going on. Everything, it's not one thing processes in my mind except for riding my bike. And it's like that I get to feel like I don't have responsibilities. Of course I take care of those things, then I go ride, but I don't have the weight of them on my shoulders. So I'm able to kind of just, it's like therapy, man. It is. It's addicting.
Well, I know you mentioned that there were different types of bikes for different types of usage. If you can have one bike and one bike only, which one would it be?
The bike I have now, my P3. I just got it back, and it's amazing.
What
Geometry
is
of it. The P3 is Specialized P3. It's a dirt jumper. It's a hardtail. It has suspension on fork, and it's taken me a lot of bikes, and I'll say it, money, to get to this point of finding out which bike suited me best. Because when you get to doing the stuff that we're doing, just even the smallest 1 millimeter, or anything, pitch of the headset, it will all feel completely different.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would say one bike would be, depending on who you are. I mean, if depends on what kind of riding you want to do. But for me, definitely a 26-inch just dirt jumper or DJ. It's just an all-around. The geometry's kind of very aggressive, and you can do a lot with it. But it's got the big 26-inch wheel, so it's very stable. It's a good Cadillac.
Does the wheelbase actually make that much of a difference?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but a few millimeters is drastically different.
Yeah.
What does it feel like?
Man, it feels
Depends on
tight
which way.
and quick, and if you, if you make it a little longer, it feels very long and stable. It'll make the bike feel like it's 4 foot longer, just by a few millimeters. It's pretty crazy.
It is.
Yeah, just really small things.
Very small things.
Cool.